Okay then guys, what is going on? Cloud Plays here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're inside of Diablo 4. We have got a load of new information with regards to hotfixes hitting the game. We're going to talk about the latest patch 1.1 and what that's actually done. We've got some news coming from Adam Fletcher and Joseph Pipora, and we've got some awesome posts up on Reddit from you guys. Some interesting information indeed, and we're going to dive straight on into it. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. On top of that, make sure you check out our sponsor. We're going to dive into that right now, and we're back in a sec. So Skytech Gaming, Intel and Signal RGB have come together to bring you this Diablo 4 inspired PC. The swirling potions inside react to your health and resources in real time. This is made possible by the Signal RGB app, which syncs RGB devices from any brand to bring you a cohesive lighting experience. The Skytech team designed and 3D printed this custom PC with performance and cooling in mind. This hand-painted chest contains the 13th gen Intel 13600K and the RTX 4070, giving you all the legendary hardware you need to defeat Lilith and save Sanctuary. To enter the giveaway, click the link in the video description below. For me, this is an absolutely incredible opportunity, and this PC looks mental. The fact that you can integrate it to your Diablo 4 class means that you guys are just going to have a visually entertaining experience. This thing is absolutely crazy, and the fact that they're giving it away, you'd be absolutely dumb to not go and check this out. Link in the description. Okay, with that being said, and that does look awesome, Diablo posted up a massive thread after their campfire chat stating Diablo 4's leads Joe Shelley, Joseph Pipora and Adam Fletcher did a deep dive on the latest patch, including why these changes were made and how patches will be handled going forward. They go into in depth on everything that they spoke about and things that are going to be coming in the 1.1.1 patch that's going to be showing up later next week, but we have got so much that has been coming to the game. Now, they started off this campfire chat by admitting that they messed up and admitting that the game is not fun for us. They know that's the case. I think for me, the transparency behind that was a massive round of applause. There's not many community managers, let alone companies, that will admit fault, but these three guys did an absolutely incredible job throughout that and are working on changing a load of things based on community input. Now, the latest hotfix that came up last night was a very interesting one indeed. This was a small one, although quite interesting. Now we're going to take a quick look into it now, as Pez Radar, aka Adam Fletcher, actually posted up a forum on the Blizzard website stating this hotfix has fully developed. Gameplay update, and we are implementing a reduction to overall monster power levels in Nightmare Dungeons. The new top range for tier 100 will feel like what tier 70 was previously. The developer note on this was, although these values make it appear that the higher tiers are easier than lower tiers, this is not the case because the monsters also benefit from being significantly higher level than players in higher Nightmare Dungeon tiers. For example, level 35 tiers, HP is reduced by 2% and damage reduced by 1%. Tier 50 will have a HP reduction of 20% and a damage reduction of 13%. Tier 70 has a HP reduction of 60% and a damage reduction of 54%. Tier 100 has a HP reduction of 82% and a damage reduction of 79%. As an overall, not the worst implementation that they've put in place. We have had an absolute shed ton of fixes. I'm going to put them up on screen right now because otherwise this video is going to be just ridiculously long because I don't want to break all this down. You guys can see the bits that will apply to you and your class. But as an overall, a nice little emergency fix for a hotfix that's gone up just now. What we do know as well is we're going to have another campfire chat later next week, and that is going to address a load of the things that they are going to be changing. And this post here actually states it quite well. They state, so basically 1.1 was half a patch. Nightmare 100 was accidentally too hard and required specific setups, so instead of nerfing that first, we nerfed players first, so the builds aren't possible and will bring the change later. This is something which is quite skeptical because there is a lot that is going to be coming through to play. But he goes on to say, Sorcerer builds felt awful, so instead of improving the bad ones, we decided to nerf the good ones, so they were all equally terrible, then we'll buff them all later. Vulnerable damage is multiplicative, so instead of changing that first, we're just going to take 30% off of it away until we fix it properly. I feel like this was a very weird breakdown of what was to come, but we do know that there's a lot that's being pushed through. They definitely messed up, and this was something that they are going to be making some changes on. So right here we've got the main post from the Diablo Twitter page saying DIV was designed to be capped power experience, not endless. The goal is to empower success with multiple builds per class, and changes implemented in patch 1.1.0 are designed to support this vision. Now, although they did say it wasn't the greatest, it was essentially, like we just seen on that Reddit post, a half patch, because there are so many things that we are going to see changing over the oncoming movement. And those movements are as follows. New items and powers will be added every season to encourage build diversity. Endgame content will always evolve to offer the best experience, and this patch is only a step on the journey of making Diablo 4 better for everyone. Based on feedback, some balance changes will be readjusted. Going forward, some OP builds will be untouched until there are compelling alternatives. Communicating big changes in advance will be priority, which is huge for people like me, because for me this is something that we like to project here on the channel, communicating between community managers and the company themselves. It's huge and not everyone gets to see it, so that's why we do what we do here. Now on patch 1.1.1, what we're actually going to see is Nightmare Dungeon tuning changes to pair with class changes, buffs to the Sorcerer and Barbarian, which we'll dive into a little bit deeper in a second. Monster density increased in Nightmare Dungeons and Helltides. Stash tab will be added, so we're getting an expansion on that, which is freaking lovely. A gold respec cost reduced, which is going to help you guys be able to utilize different ways to be able to bounce around different builds. And if you do get bored of one, you can just respec at a real low cost, because they're reducing it by around 40%, and they're coming up with much, much more. So this campfire chat was actually really well produced, and they did a really good job on it. Now, we have got a little bit more news when it comes to the Sorcerer and Barbarian with regards to the changes that they're going to have in play. Somebody actually posted up, I noticed the plan is to buff Barb and Source aspects. Is that all these two classes are getting? They seem to be far more broken than aspects buffs alone will fix. Now, Joseph Pipora actually says, we'll have more to talk about later this week. I don't suspect that we'll be done tweaking these two classes after 1.1.1. So we should see quite a lot of changes coming towards the Barb and the Sorcerer. I know one of my friends specifically, who's adoring his Sorcerer and has done since the launch of the game, will be well impressed to hear about that, even though he's bloody OP as it is. But anyway, we have a look at some other stuff going on in the community right now. This post got a lot of attention with regards to the Battle Pass. It states, accelerated Battle Pass button is a pretty toxic setup. Now, the original post on this does state, what a scummy move by Blizzard making the accelerated Battle Pass button the default landing button on the seasonal page. Then they intentionally didn't add a confirmation option for those who hit it by accident, adding a feature that only exists to prey on misclicks, so people activate their Battle Pass when they don't want to. Sucks and feels bad. This is very anti-player behavior, and it really goes to show how far Blizzard has fallen. There is some edits in here, but I think that alone is just, I don't agree with that at all. I think that we do need to understand that they are a company, they do need to make a profit margin. Yes, they've sold the game, but they are there to push these narratives. Now, the fact that it doesn't have a confirmation button is a little bit silly, but at the same time, if you're going to spend your money, read the writing on the damn screen. That's just my personal aspect. For me, I think read what you're clicking on if you're going to spend money on something, and they are a company, they're going to want you to purchase the accelerated one ahead of the normal Battle Pass. They're not going to automatically say, let's go straight to the normal one. That's like going to a restaurant, say to go to McDonald's, and you go to order a Big Mac meal, and they go, is that a large? It's the first thing that they push through, because that's how marketing works. I don't agree with this post, although I'm going to leave the whole thing on screen and leave the link down in the description. I don't feel like I want to add anything more with the added clarification and the edits that he's put into this post. I just don't agree with it at all. But anywho, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. That's all we've got time for today. Thank you so much again for all your support on the Diablo 4 videos. It's been absolutely overwhelming, and thank you so much again for tuning in. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe, post notifications turned on. I appreciate all your faces, but as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.